Hello everyone, so today I'm going to react to a new video I found. Well, this was a while back, it's new to me. I didn't really get that far into it because I kind of wanted to watch it together with you guys. I don't know, I can't believe how crazy vegans are and how they just don't seem to get it. Anyways, here we go. Let's just get right into this.
Greetings. Today I'm sharing a few of my favorite tofu recipes. These are ones I make literally all the time. They're all easy and delicious, and I hope you give them a try and love them as much as I do. First off, we are going to be making crispy baked tofu and tossing it into Korean-inspired sweet and spicy gochujang sauce. This baked tofu recipe works best with either firm or extra firm tofu, and here is an additional step I like to take to make the texture a little more chewy and meaty.
Meaty. Boom. Boom.
Usually I freeze a block of tofu directly in the package, then I defrost it and thoroughly press out the extra water. This time I wanted to see if it made it
Gross. Ugh. Like, just the imagery and the smell. I can't get over the smell. It's gotta smell awful. Ugh. Ugh. Blech.
any difference to press it before freezing it. I think they came out roughly the same, but once it's defrosted and pressed, you can either cut it into cubes or tear it into irregular pieces. This is my preference because the craggy edges crisp up in the oven and they create more surface area for the sauce to cling to. Now our little tofu nuggies go into a big mixing bowl and we're gonna drizzle them with olive oil, or you can use any neutral oil of your choice, a little bit of salt and black pepper, and some onion and garlic powder, just for the heck of it. It's not technically necessary if your sauce is really flavorful.
So disgusting. How can they not see that they really want meat? How can they? What are you gonna get? What are you getting by joining this channel? I just saw the join members button. What are you getting? What are you getting out of this? Huh? What are you getting out of this? Seriously. The best way to be sick very fast is what you're getting out of it. You're ugh, gross. Like, I'm also trying to fix some of my other settings here because I don't want it to start autoplaying. Hang on, let me get out of here for a second. It might start to Oh, that was weird. Dismiss what? I don't even know what. Anyways, let's continue. Let us continue.
But can't hurt. Give that a toss. Be gentle because the tofu can be a little delicate at this stage. I find using a flexible rubber spatula really helps to keep the pieces intact. Now we're going to toss our seasoned tofu with a few tablespoons of starch to help it crisp up in the oven. I have tested this with cornstarch and potato starch. You can
Carbs. Lots of carbs. I can tell. Like, starches or carbs.
Make any other substitutions at your own discretion, and again, just toss to coat the tofu as evenly as possible. Then we arrange our tofu nuggets on a lined baking tray. Try to leave a little space between them so they crisp up evenly. Pop those in a preheated 425-degree oven. You're gonna bake those for—
Holy crap. I can't imagine what happens to the phytoestrogens when you cook that crap. Ugh. Ugh, I already hate tofu as it is. I can't imagine what that would taste like. Ugh.
For 15 minutes. Pull the tray out, give the tofu a little flippy, pop it back in for another 15.
A little flippy? It would sound better if you said a little flippy flip. Can't even word your words right.
to 20 minutes or until the tofu is nice and crispy and golden brown. Exact time is going to vary depending on how much of the moisture you were able to press out of the tofu at the beginning, so just keep an eye on it. And while it's cooking is a great time to throw together your sweet and spicy gochujang sauce. So I adapted this from Joshua Weissman's Korean fried chicken recipe. It's a lot of ingredients, but it's worth it, trust me. The base of the sauce is gochujang, which is a Korean red pepper paste. I actually see this at most regular grocery stores in the international section nowadays.
Look, I've tasted tofu. The worst tasting crap on the planet. Spices and sauces added in. I feel like I'd gag. Ugh.
But if you can't find it there, check your local Asian market. All of your sauce ingredients can go directly into a skillet. Set that over medium heat, and we're gonna just gently simmer everything for a few minutes just to mellow out the bite of the raw garlic. If you feel like the sauce needs a splash of water to thin it out, go ahead and add it. This is the consistency we're looking for. Now mind you, this sauce can also be used with any other protein or on noodles. And now our baked tofu's done. Look at that coating. Go ahead and toss it into your skillet. Give it a good stir to get that sauce into.
Do you know how long it would take to make nuggets? All you gotta do is get one of those big deep fryers, fill it with lard, throw some chicken in there with some dipped in some pork panko and some egg yolk mixture. Boom. You got yourself nuggets in like 10 minutes. Probably not even.
Every nook and cranny, and I love serving this gochujang tofu with fresh steamed rice and broccoli. To me, this is like a cheaper and healthier version of something I would order.
It's not healthier. What the hell? Sorry, I don't usually say that, but oh my lord.
As takeout, it really kind of scratches that itch for me. And hopefully it goes without saying that
I'm sure it wouldn't once you tried real nuggets again.
you can make the crispy baked tofu and pair it with any kind of store-bought sauce you like for a super easy lunch or dinner. You don't have to make the sauce from scratch.
It's healthier too. Have vegans forgot the more processed crap you buy, the more likely it's going to have a bunch of junk in it that you don't want to eat. Have vegans forgotten this?
This tofu recipe is super fun. I used to love eating fried eggs with a runny yolk for breakfast, and this kind of
You can't make eggs with tofu. I'm going to say it right now.
satisfies that craving for me. Now, mind you, we are not trying to make some kind of freakishly realistic egg substitute today.
Oh, you know you want a real egg. You know you do. Come on.
We're not doing any like sauce stash voodoo magic here, but this is going to be a really delicious, savory, high-protein breakfast option.
Not high protein if you're not absorbing it, you idiot. Sorry, but not sorry. You're idiots. All of you.
Simple Truth has these mini blocks of tofu that I like to use when I don't want to make a huge amount. You can just use half of a block of firm or extra firm tofu for this, or
Why would you use firm to make an egg substitute? I don't like firm eggs. I like soft eggs. Come on. What the heck? How are you going to make an egg with a runny yolk or something similar if you use firm? General question.
Or you can make the whole block. It's really flexible. You'll see what I mean in a little bit. Cut it into slices somewhere between 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch, and you can blot the extra liquid off of your tofu. I usually don't bother when I'm making this,
I guess the liquid would help if you keep it on there, but still.
though. Go ahead and grab a big, preferably non-stick skillet and add in some vegan butter or your favorite cooking oil.
Don't use this, whatever you do, don't use, I can't believe it's not butter, country crock, canola oil, Crisco. Stop using that junk. Use some freaking butter, use tallow, use lard, use bacon grease, use ghee. Stop. This is ridiculous. Guys, you can't outsmart nature. No one can.
Personally, I always used to fry my eggs in butter, so those two flavors just kind of go together in my brain, so I'm using some.
Ugh. Now, this vegan butter that she's using, is it margarine? I can't see, right? But, so, if it's margarine, look, I used to, like, for the longest time before I went keto, I had a period of time where I ate toast with butter. And for a super long time, we weren't using margarine. And then one day, after a long time of not using it, my dad ended up putting margarine instead of butter in the butter dish because we ran out of butter. And I made toast with it. The taste was repulsive. I was like, why does it taste like that? It tastes so weird and gross. Ugh.
Some Miyoko's cultured vegan butter, and you're gonna pan fry
Okay, so doesn't sound like margarine, but maybe it's similar?
your tofu slices on medium-high heat, just a few minutes per side until golden brown. Then go ahead and hit those with a little bit of salt and black pepper, and while you're working on that, you can have a second little pot right next door with our runny vegan yolk sauce. Now just think about...
Dude, you could make an egg in 5 minutes.
The ingredients we typically use to season a classic tofu scramble. So we've got some nutritional yeast, onion and garlic powder. You can add some paprika if you like, and then some black salt, which is
Eggs don't taste like that. They don't.
gonna give it that funky eggy smell. You can find this at your local Indian grocer or online. I usually make this with water. I wanted to try using some soy milk this time to add in some extra protein and
More frickin'... Oh my lord. You already have soy in your frickin' dish. You don't need any more. I'm sure that vegan butter has soy too. Her diet is primarily soy. I swear.
Honestly, I wouldn't bother. I think the flavor and consistency is better with just plain water. You'll also need your favorite thickening starch and your favorite neutral cook.
More starch. More starch. Wow.
Cooking oil or some more
Same ingredients as before, just made differently.
vegan butter. Water is going to go into a small saucepan or frying pan. Add in the rest of the ingredients except for the black salt, okay? We're gonna save that to the end because it does lose a lot of that distinctive eggy aroma when it's cooked. I also added in a pinch of turmeric just for color. Whisk everything together and then...
Yeah, of course. Of course you need that turmeric because, hello, it's not real egg, so you gotta make it look real, don't you? You know you're craving a real egg. Come on. Come on. You said you weren't gonna make it realistic. Sounds like you're trying to make it realistic. You know you want a real egg. Just admit it.
Then bring it to a simmer over medium-high heat and let it thicken. Make sure to whisk it regularly to prevent any clumps from forming, and once it has reached a nice, thick, yolky consistency, you can remove it from the heat and stir in that black salt. Similar to actual runny egg yolks, this sauce does develop a little bit of a skin as it sits, so just give it a little stir before you're ready to serve it to reincorporate that. And all I do is take my little fried tofu slices, I lay those out on a plate or on a slice of toast, drizzle over your glorious, glorious sauce as much as you like. Then I like to add some fresh sliced scallions. Sometimes I'll do like a little shake of smoked paprika. And this recipe is just so delicious. It's savory, it's really simple, it's so filling because tofu is really high in protein.
Okay.
You'll probably...
Okay. Look. This recipe is so stupid. You want a real egg. I know. You do. You do. You do. This is disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. Holy crap. Holy crap. It is blowing my mind up right now. I can't. Wow. You want egg. Come on. Admit it.
have some leftover yolk sauce that'll keep in the fridge for a few days. Just reheat it in a pan with a little extra splash of water because it does thicken the sauce.
Why not just make enough of the freaking other crap so you can pour it all together and mix it together? You know normal eggs don't do this. You can keep them for probably 2 days, I think, in the fridge. They don't do this.
Sauce on its own is just great.
They don't separate like that.
Great for dipping toast in. And really quickly, before anyone says, oh, if you want eggs so much, why don't you just eat eggs?
Yeah.
Silence, insolent mortal. Go.
No. You need eggs. Clearly. You need eggs. You need eggs. You need eggs. You want the cholesterol, you want the fat, you're not giving your body the proper cholesterol and fat and all that other stuff that you need to grow a healthy brain and stuff. You want it. You know you want it. You know you're craving it. You know, you can tell it's not real when you taste it, clearly. Come on. I don't know what that word is. I know what mortal means. You're not immortal. No one is immortal.
Watch Gordon Ramsay make undercooked scrambled eggs again.
You mean over easy, probably? He knows, he's a professional. He knows how to make it so you don't get sick. Okay? And you're supposed to use grass-fed eggs, pasture-raised eggs, which I'm sure he does.
Leave me in peace.
A little bit creamy, but scrambled eggs to die for.
Up next,
Not literally.
we've got a really foundational recipe for a simple, crispy breaded tofu that can be either
You don't have to make them that creamy either, you imbecile.
fried, baked, or air fried. Today I'm turning it into buffalo tofu strips, but you can toss
Oh my god, the meat cravings. Oh my god. Your period must be constant.
or dip them into any kind of sauce your little heart desires. Firm or extra firm tofu work best for this recipe, and you can kind of cut it into any shape you like. You could do 1-inch cubes to make little buffalo tofu bites. Today
Oh my god. This is so stupid.
I'm cutting them into strips, which are great for dipping. I do recommend doing the freezing and defrosting trick to make them a little more meaty in texture.
Yep, of course. You know you want meat. Stop with this crap. You know you want meat.
But I forgot. So we're just gonna do
Ha ha, I wonder why you forgot. You're not getting all the cholesterol that you need. You'll thank me later.
a quick press. So after cutting your tofu, lay it out on one half of a clean kitchen towel, fold the other half over top, and weigh it down with something of moderate weight like a cutting board or a plate.
How long would it take to cook buffalo strips? Like actual buffalo strips. How long would it take? Like compare this process to the actual process of cooking buffalo strips.
Let that go for about 15 minutes, and during this time, we're gonna prepare a really simple batter.
I think you'd have them cooked in 15 minutes, Or am I wrong?
This is going to adhere our breadcrumbs to our tofu. This will be about 1/4 cup of your favorite flour, along with a teaspoon each of onion and garlic powder and paprika. Add in salt and pepper, whisk it together, and then whisk in enough water to form a batter similar in consistency to pancake batter. You'll also want to add about 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs to a dish and season with salt and pepper. You can also use regular breadcrumbs or crushed cornflakes. Now it's time to go ahead and dip your pressed tofu first into the seasoned batter, let any excess drip off, and then into the breadcrumbs to coat them. As I mentioned before, I tested 3 cooking methods. I baked them, fried them, and air fried them. So if you're baking or air frying them, I would recommend spraying them with a little bit of vegetable oil to help.
Ooh. Yeah, because vegetable oil is way more healthy, even though it's lab created. You can't outsmart nature. You can't.
Help them crisp up. It's not strictly necessary, but I do just think it improves the texture. If you're baking, you're going to bake them in a 400-degree oven for about 35 to 40 minutes, flipping them at the halfway point.
Holy crap, maybe it takes 35 to 40 minutes to, maybe it does for real strips, I don't know. But I think they'd be done by now if you were cooking real ones. They'd definitely be done by now, surely.
I feel like different brands of air fryers vary, but in my Ninja air fryer at 375 degrees, they took about 18 minutes to be perfectly crispy. And honestly, I prefer the texture of the air fried ones to the baked ones. And lastly, you can shallow fry them in a neutral cooking oil for about 3 minutes per side until they're evenly golden brown. Obviously, I thought these tasted the best, but usually I'm not frying things unless it's like a special occasion. So my personal recommendation, if you have an air fryer, is to use that. However you choose to cook your breaded tofu, all that remains is to toss it in your favorite sauce. My favorite combo is Frank's Red Hot with some melted vegan butter.
Is that vegan? The Frank's sauce? Is that vegan?
Barbecue sauce is another favorite, and sometimes I'll just whip up a batch of these as a snack, but usually I'm making this crispy tofu to put on top of either a buffalo salad with ranch dressing, or I'll make it and toss it in barbecue sauce to put on top of like a southern bowl with vegan mac and cheese or some mashed potatoes and a side of collard green.
My lord, the meat cravings, the cheese cravings. Oh my gosh, this is insane.
It's so good. So hopefully you give this classic breaded tofu a try and enjoy it as much as I do. Before we move on, I did want to say, especially if you're new to cooking tofu, a good nonstick skillet is going to be your best friend because tofu does have a tendency to stick, especially if you don't like to cook with a lot of oil. The nonstick cookware I'm using in this video is by Caraway, and full disclosure, they did gift us this set, but we've been testing them out for the past few months and we really do like them. They are very nonstick, as you can see, and most importantly, they're non-toxic. They're made with a ceramic coating, and they're very easy to clean. They don't require any seasoning or maintenance like cast iron. I've gone through a lot of cheap non-stick pans over the years, and the non-stick always wears out. Worst case, it starts to chip or flake off into the food, and I definitely notice a difference in quality and durability with the Caraway. So while this video isn't sponsored, they have given us a discount code that you can use if you're looking to invest in some really high quality non-toxic cookware that's also...
If you're not sponsored, how did they give it away to you and give you a discount? What? You must be sponsored. Don't give me that. You liar. Liar. That is the definition of being sponsored. They will send you a gift, right? Typically. They will send you a free sample, right? And give you a discount. That's the definition of a sponsor, is it not? If I'm wrong, let me know, because I don't plan to get sponsored by people on YouTube.
Also really beautiful. They're available in lots of different colors, and they come with these really nice organizers and a lid.
Well, I guess sponsored, really means affiliated link, but what? I don't understand.
Holder. And if you do use the code, it does support the channel, so thank you.
Wait, yeah, you have a code. There you go. You're sponsored.
And with that, let's get back into the recipes. Let's move on to our next recipe. We are going to make these ridiculously easy and delicious tofu lettuce wraps. These are great when you're craving something that's really fresh and healthy and light, but that...
Not healthy. Tofu is not healthy. Anything with vegetable oil is not healthy either. Nothing in this meal is healthy. You know why? Because they're not natural. I dare you to go eat some natural, where the actual lettuce came from. I dare you to go eat that plant. I dare you to go try. I bet you it would taste even worse. Maybe lettuce is I don't know. I don't even know what the wild lettuce is like, but go find some wild soybeans or wherever they came from.
That's still really filling and savory and flavorful. First, a little bit of prep work. Dice up a white onion, then you're going to mince up as much garlic as you like.
Yeah, destroy that gut. Ugh. Garlic in high amounts like that? Ugh. I should know. My mom gave me a huge dose of garlic when I got sick. I think I mentioned it before. It was a flu very similar to COVID. It was like, I was like a teenager then, and I just was not eating right. And so she was like, here, eat this. And it had like two spoonfuls of like soup, and in it was like pieces of garlic clove. Ugh, gross.
And then you're going to either mince up or grate some fresh ginger. So freezing the ginger ahead of...
Ew, garlic, onion, and ginger? Gross. My mom tried out a pumpkin soup recipe. That was disgusting. Garlic, onion, those are savory, right? Then ginger, it's kind of like bordering like sweet and savory. Like, what? Ugh.
Time makes it very easy to grate, or if you're someone who's in need of recipes with minimal prep work, you can just buy ginger paste and pre-minced garlic at the store. There's no shame in that. I am obsessed with water chestnuts. I love how crisp they are. They just add the most satisfying crunch to the lettuce wrap filling.
And give you friggin' bowel problems.
So just give those a coarse chop. And lastly, I'm slicing up a few fresh green onions. You don't have to add...
Oh, and they take away your nutrients. So that's another bonus.
These were already adding in the white onion, I know. But if you do have them, they just add extra freshness and color to the filling. One last little bit of prep work here is to prepare your lettuce cups. Butter lettuce is my favorite to use for these, but
Butter lettuce? What the heck? By the way, Daphne Reloaded actually said something on her channel that I have to agree with. Nothing you eat's truly vegan, because if you were growing it in properly cared for soil, the soil would have blood meal, bone meal, poop, stuff like that. Things are dying in it every day. That's not vegan. Nothing's vegan. So, why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep doing that? Sorry. I keep going out of the thing. This video is going to be long now as a result, but I don't care. I don't care.
You can honestly use whatever kind you like, even iceberg. You can also use romaine leaves, but they'll be more like tofu lettuce tacos than wraps, if you know what I mean. Now you're gonna heat a non-stick skillet.
Isn't that the point? Wraps and tacos are almost the same thing, they're just rolled up differently.
Over medium-high heat and drizzle in a little bit of your favorite cooking oil. Crumble in a block of firm or extra firm tofu and...
She's obsessed with firm and extra firm in particular.
Pressing it is actually optional for this recipe. Let me explain why. Right now, we're gonna pan fry the tofu until it's golden brown. If you pressed it ahead of time, there will be less liquid to cook off before the tofu starts to brown, so it will happen faster. But if you didn't press it, you'll just need to add on a few extra minutes of cook time so that the liquid evaporates first and then the tofu can brown. Once the tofu has developed some of that beautiful golden brown color, go in with your onions and stir fry for another 3 to 5 minutes.
And Daphne mentioned something too about acrylamide. I would agree with that too. I don't think it's as bad if you're having it with meat as much, because people sear meat all the time. So that creates a little bit of acrylamide too, right? Now, if you're doing it with plant foods, it's magnified. I'm very sure of that. And it reacts with all the other stuff. So... make of that what you will, guys.
So now toss in your chopped water chestnuts, minced garlic, ginger, and green onions, and keep stir frying.
Ugh, I can't imagine eating chestnuts in a wrap. Blech.
For another 2 to 3 minutes. As far as seasoning goes, I'm gonna give you 2 options. Number 1, vegan oyster sauce. This one...
What? I'm gonna give you 2 options. Because you have to make it my way or no way, right?
is mushroom based and it packs a ton of umami. It's also
disgusting. Blech.
a little sweet. If you like the idea of making stir fry,
I've actually eaten mushrooms, and confession, I'm one of those rare people that don't really mind them if you make them right. This I can't imagine eating. Ugh.
but you don't want to make a sauce from scratch with a bunch of separate ingredients every time. This is kind of like an all-purpose stir-fry seasoning. The second option is hoisin sauce, which is generally a little easier to find. A lot of regular grocery stores carry it. It's savory, it's sweet, it's definitely a different flavor profile than the oyster sauce, but either one will taste delicious.
You're craving meat and you freaking know it. Admit it, you imbecile.
In this recipe. So just add in a few tablespoons of either one, along with a tablespoon of soy sauce, and then optionally you can add in some chili paste. Stir fry that till there's no extra liquid in the pan, and then these are ready to serve in your beautiful lettuce boats. I think these are great topped with some fresh scallions and chopped peanuts or some other kind of
What is with you and nuts in a wrap? Ugh!
chopped roasted nuts for some crunch. And the best part is these taste great whether the filling is hot or cold, so if you have leftovers, they make a super low maintenance lunch or dinner for the next day. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Recipes will be on my website, linked down below, and
Wow. 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 Insane. Insane. Holy crap. The meat cravings in this. Wow. All right. Well, that's the insanity for today. I'm going to look for more Frank Tufano stuff. I might react to some older videos if I can't find anything more interesting. Anything new, that is. I will be back. I'll have this video hopefully scheduled for tomorrow if I do it right. And yeah, see you guys later.